Hey everyone, I thought I'd show you what I'm doing for a rain barrel setup, and let me know what you think of it, and let me know if you have anything like that. You can send me a comment. I would like you guys to like and subscribe and share my videos. This is just kind of fun. It's a fun thing to do, but today I want to show you my rain barrel. Let's go look. Well, here it is. It's a few years old, so the base isn't in the best shape. I should probably stain it or something, but my son and I built that strong enough to withstand 55 gallons of water on top of it. So when you make one of these, it has to be pretty tough. Now you may ask, well, what's the brick doing on top? Well, that was a temporary measure when I first put it out here before it filled up with rain. I apologize for the wind noise, but the other side has a hole just like this one. This one's the overflow hole. But the reason I wanted to show you this one, because that hole's on the other side here. It's simply a sump pump line going into the eave spout. And this is just homemade. It doesn't cost much at all. But what I did, I cut half of that off. So when I stick it in that hole, it kind of cups the water and brings it into the rain barrel. So push that in there. Don't go all the way in, because the water that's on this side will want to catch that tube, and then it goes in there. And when this gets full, it just doesn't take anymore. This overflow could go to another 55-gallon drum if you want, or in a bucket, or just drain on the ground. It's up to you. I have enough in this tank to water my garden, so I'm good. But down here, a little bit up from the bottom, maybe not up that high, I want to leave a little space like this sediment, but drill a half-inch hole. I want to double check it just so you don't make it too big, and just screw in a half-inch pipe fitting. These are pretty cheap. I think maybe $5 at the hardware store. I put this tube on it because, as you can see, it's windy. It blows a lot of water when I empty it, so it drags it down. Otherwise, the wind would be blowing it all over the place. So what got me thinking about doing this video today is it's kind of a windy, rainy day, and I thought about making another one. Specifically for our backyard, because my wife has a bunch of flowers in the back, and I thought, what better thing to do for Mother's Day than to make another rain barrel so she doesn't have to walk all the way around to get water out of this one. So I want to show you the work in progress I have for the next rain barrel. First thing is the stand. You want to make it heavy duty enough to withstand the weight, and I use this out of scrap wood. I needed one about 20 inches long here because I measured the base of the 55-gallon drum, and it has to be big enough to support that. But I thought, hey, I want to use this scrap wood. It's not good for anything else, so this is all scrap. But as you can see, this thing's pretty heavy duty. Let me flip it over for you. There's kind of a brace in the middle, so it supports the 2x6, 2x8. Those look like 2x8s on the top. It's nice. I had 3 24-inch 2x8s, which made a pretty good stand. Here's the drum I have. It's a 55-gallon drum. Somebody gave it to me from work. It has a pretty cool sign here. It's from Puerto Rico, so I want the spigot right here. So I need to drill for this drain hose. Gonna back over here. So we'll try to do that now. Gonna kind of come at a little bit of an angle. Start it this way maybe. Simple as that. So now that I had the hole, this thing will just shove right in there. Simple as pie. You don't even have to seal it. Before I drill the hole in the downspout, I need to know how high my barrel's going to be, so I need to bring the barrel out here. But before I do that, I need to make sure I have a level surface to put the stand on. I'm going to have to clean the siding here one of these days. But right now this isn't quite level, so I'm going to dig this up a little bit and put a level on it to make sure the base is nice and level. When you put the stand on, you want to make sure it's level. I did have to shim up this little corner here. There may be a low spot with that corner of the stone or a low spot on my 4x4, but just make sure when it's all said and done it's level. And you're gonna have to check this each year because the ground will settle. Now that I have the barrel on here, weighted down with a brick since it's empty, one thing I wanted to point out is make sure it's high enough to get a bucket under it so you can fill it up, because we're just relying on gravity here. So now with the bucket in place, we can see where we need to drill this hole. And you want a little bit of a slope, so again, gravity takes its course. So I'm going to drill about right here. There you have it. So before I put this hose in here, you can see I'm way too much. So what you simply can do is shove it in the barrel a little bit more so you don't have to cut it off. That'll give you some to work with later. I'm going to leave it about there. And now I need to cut the top off of this with a coping saw and angle it up. So I'm just going to cut about 2/3 the way up and then taper it up. A slight angle, and again, you don't want to go all the way in because then you're missing the water from this side. And if you have leaves and trees in the area, from time to time pull it out, clean out the leaves. This is one thing I didn't have, but when I came to the store to pick this up, I noticed a quarter turn valve, and this valve is more expensive. It's $8.29, but it's nice because you only turn this a quarter turn and it's a ball valve. So I'm going to get this one. I thought I'd share the size that I'm using for these drill bits and explain a little something to you. When it says 1/2 inch, that's 1/2 inch pipe thread. And what that is measuring is not the external threads, but the opening for the inside of the pipe. So typically a 1/2 inch pipe has an inner diameter of 1/2 inch, not the outer diameter. So the actual hole saw I'm going to be using for the spigot is a 3/4 inch hole. Okay, when you drill the hole, you don't want the spigot down here because then any dirt and debris would be draining into your bucket. You want to leave some space for that dirt and debris to collect in the barrel and not out the spigot. So I'm gonna just go here. Again, you want to make sure you have plenty of room to put a bucket. I missed recording where I used a 3/4 inch hole saw to drill this hole, but after I drilled the hole, I manually made the threads by threading in the ball valve. One thing I wanted to show you on putting thread tape on a thread, you want to wrap it so the end that you have left wants to be tightened as you screw it in. So as I wrap it around, I'm going to just go around a couple times. This stuff's pretty cheap, so don't have to worry too much about it. In fact, I'm about out. So you pull it like that, and then I'm going to just take the rest of this, since it's the rest of my spool, and go around. But the thing is when you screw it in, you want it to tighten further. You don't want it to unravel. So I found the threads that I cut in there a little bit ago. So I'm not going to go real tight. I want to give myself room to tighten it up further if I have to later on down the road. So I'm going to just go until it's snug, about right there. So next year, if it's loose, I can tighten it up a little bit more and those threads will get bigger. Here's the finished product. Well, thanks for joining me in the building of a rain barrel using spare materials, for the most part anyway, except for that valve. Anyway, until next time, I'm gonna go check out the weather forecast to see when we'll get rain. Take it easy.